Hyundai's entry-level crossover model is this car, the Bayon, here usefully updated. It takes established engineering from the brand's i20 supermini and delivers it with the trendier crossover vibe that customers for small cars increasingly want. Plus, there's also the advantage of a more sophisticated and more spacious cabin than you'd get with a conventional small hatch. This is a much copied formula, of course, but this Hyundai delivers it with value and a class-leading warranty.
Set off in this Bayon, and the first thing you notice is that everything's so light and easy to use. Primarily the electric steering, but also, if you've opted for manual transmission, the clutch and gear shift action as well. A DCT 7-speed automatic is optional. Curiously, probably the most significant change with this updated model is a backward step. The mild hybrid assisted engine it had at its original launch has been swapped out for an unelectrified version of the same 1-litre TGDI 3-cylinder petrol unit. Other markets get the option of this engine with 120 PS, but here it comes only in its base 100 PS form. This power plant can be matched either with the brand's clever 6-speed IMT or intelligent manual transmission with 172 Nm of torque, or, as I said, with a 7-speed dual-clutch DCT automatic gearbox where torque increases to 200 Nm. As before, there are 3 selectable driving modes: Eco, Normal or Sport, with the latter offering a rev matching function for the IMT manual gearbox. That IMT setup allows the car to enter into 2 possible levels of coasting, depending on the conditions, the first leaving the engine idling and the second turning it off completely, though it will of course spring to life again the moment your foot touches the throttle. From the outside, you might think this facelifted Bayon was an all-new model because the front-end visage is quite different. Few of those changes are evident from the side. This may theoretically be the smallest SUV in the company's range, but it's still 4.2 metres in length, those dimensions disguised by all manner of slashing and creasing to distract the eye. As we said, the key model updates lie here at the front, where there's now much more of a Kona-style look with the new headlight signature that runs the width of the front. Plus, the bumper's been revised for a more rugged appearance and the grille's been restyled as well. Let's take a look inside. The interior hasn't changed a great deal, and it's certainly not quite the avant-garde design fest you get in a Kona, but it does now feel of slightly better quality, aided by the addition of multicoloured LED interior lighting. Also helping in this regard is the fact that Hyundai's now standardised a pair of 10.25-inch screens. Previously, base trim left you with a cheap-looking 8-inch centre monitor. And the instrument display now does a bit more, changing in colour with the drive modes and upgradable to include Hyundai's clever blind spot avoidance assist system that changes the outer dials into camera viewpoints so that you can monitor the flanks of the car when you're turning. Build quality, as usual with Hyundai, is excellent, and the various fittings seem to have been well screwed together by the Turkish factory. Right, time to move to the rear. The doors open nice and wide. And once inside, you'll find that this Hyundai has as much rear space for legs and knees as you could reasonably expect in this class. As before, the rear seat reaps the benefits of a relatively long 2,580mm wheelbase, which allows backseat folk 882mm of legroom. Let's finish this section with a look at the boot. Now, lift the hatch and you're greeted with one of the more accommodating luggage areas in the segment. 411 litres in size, which is 39 litres less than a Kona, but 59 litres more than you get with the i20 supermini that this car is based upon. It's a mark of how relatively ineffectual mild hybrid technology is that the lack of it in this updated Bayon makes a hardly noticeable impact on the efficiency stats. With either form of transmission, this little 1-litre turbo engine returns a combined cycle reading of 51.4 mpg and a CO2 return of around 125 grams per kilometre. This improved Bayon manages to make good use of its i20 underpinnings and engineering. while remaining very much its own car. We'd certainly expect it to outsell its small hatch showroom stablemate, though the original version never managed that. True, in recent times the brand has certainly produced more memorable designs than this, but most of them are far more expensive. This car delivers just enough styling flair to satisfy its fashion-orientated target audience and keep pace with an increasingly talented set of rivals. Will that be sufficient for long-term success in this rapidly evolving segment? It'll be interesting to see.